Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something pretty relatable, I think. Those times when money's tight. Really tight.
Yeah, definitely a common experience. We've been digging into this source, YouTubeDoc.txt, which has this surprisingly funny, no-nonsense take on it.
Right. It's very direct. So our mission today really is to pull out the practical stuff, the actionable tips, maybe even some morale boosters from this doc.
hmm Basically a shortcut for anyone listening who's feeling that pinch, to feel a bit more in control, maybe less overwhelmed.
Okay, so first up, the doc really hammers home just acknowledging it, facing the
Mm.
situation.
Yeah, without the shame. It's tempting to hide it or, pretend everything's fine online.
Totally. But this source says, nope, just own where you are financially.
And I liked the reframe it offered. Instead of thinking I'm broke, it's more like I'm temporarily underfunded.
Permanently resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a small shift mentally.
But powerful, right? Changes it from a permanent state to just a phase you're navigating.
Exactly. And it links to that idea of dropping the fake rich energy. No more pretending.
Oh, definitely. That costs energy and probably actual money, too.
Right. Just be honest. It even says, be real about saying no to things like brunch or whatever.
Saying a no is actually step one towards getting back some control. Pretending just digs a deeper hole, really.
Okay, so once you faced it, the next step is this financial audit.
Yes, the broke FBI agent part. I thought that was pretty funny.
Me too. But the idea is serious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like investigate your own spending.
Yeah, comb through those bank statements, credit card bills, wherever the money goes. You got to find the leaks.
And it talks about identifying the budget assassins. Love that term.
It's perfect, isn't it? These
Yeah.
little things, the daily coffee, the quick takeout lunch, maybe those forgotten subscriptions.
All the subscriptions, they get you every time.
They really do. And the advice is just cut them, be ruthless, cancel/unsubscribe.
Like your financial life depends on it.
Right.
Which, while it kind of does at this point.
And it acknowledges this can be, a bit painful, facing the reality.
Yeah, it gives that example, like maybe realizing you spent, what was it, 17,000 on snacks. Ouch.
Exactly. Confronting that isn't easy, but you can't change what you don't see.
True. So are there tools it suggests
Yeah.
for tracking?
Yeah, it mentions things like Mint, YNAB, or even just a basic spreadsheet can work wonders, whatever helps you see the patterns.
Right. Okay, so audit done, cuts made. What about essentials? Like you still got to eat.
Yeah, the broke meals section. This is where it gets really practical. Every meal becomes a kind of strategic mission.
Strategic mission. I like that. And the examples were super relatable. Noodles and an egg.
Classic. Bread and, well, pretty much anything cheap you can put on it.
Yeah, or rice with just a basic stew, maybe even without meat sometimes. Big pots of soup.
Exactly. Things that fill you up, stretch your budget, make a big batch, eat for days.
And I had that cool idea, the poverty potluck.
Yeah. Getting together with friends who are maybe in the same boat, everyone brings one cheap dish.
Turns surviving into something a bit more communal, maybe even fun, resourceful.
Totally. It shows that being broke doesn't mean you can't be creative or social. You just adapt.
Okay, adaptation. That leads nicely into the next bit. Resourceful hustling, bring in some extra cash.
Right. This is about shifting focus. Less about pride, maybe, and more about pragmatism. How can I earn something right now?
So what kind of hustles does it suggest?
Quick things, mostly. Freelancing. If you have skills like writing, design, data entry, even simple stuff online.
Online surveys, do those actually pay?
A little bit, yeah. It's not going to make you rich, but it's something. Selling stuff you don't use anymore.
Declutter and earn.
Or local things like babysitting, tutoring, helping neighbors with chores maybe, using what you've got.
And it stresses not burning yourself out, right? Be strategic about it.
Don't try to do everything. But the point is, your skills, your time, even just having Wi-Fi, these are assets you can potentially leverage.
That's empowering, actually. Thinking about what you do have, not just what you lack.
Exactly. There are usually options, even if they seem small at first.
Okay, so you're managing food, maybe starting a side hustle. What about, like, life, entertainment, downtime?
That's where mastering the free life comes in. Finding joy and engagement without spending money.
And not just free trials that trick you later.
No, exactly. Genuine free stuff, like checking out local community events calendars, open mic nights.
Libraries.
Yeah,
They often have talks or meetups.
totally. And using free Wi-Fi spots, libraries again, cafes sometimes, maybe a friend's place to connect or learn online.
YouTube tutorials came up too, right? Learning new skills for free.
Yeah, huge resource. Entertainment, education, It's all there. It's about proactively looking for these things.
It does take a bit more effort than just tapping an app, I guess.
A little planning, maybe, but it means your quality of life doesn't have to plummet just because your income did temporarily.
Good point. Okay, this next one is interesting. Choosing your company wisely.
Mm-hmm. This one's about your social environment. It talks about maybe needing to temporarily distance yourself from certain people.
The broke-minded individuals, as the doc puts it. What does that mean exactly?
Well, the doc seems to imply it's people who maybe encourage spending you can't afford or don't respect that you're on a budget, perhaps pressure you into debt.
Ah, okay. So people whose habits might sabotage your efforts.
Pretty much, if you're trying to save and build, hanging out constantly with people who are all about instant gratification and spending, it makes it harder, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Peer pressure is real, even with money.
So it suggests finding people who get it, friends who understand budgeting, who offer support or motivation, not temptation.
It makes that distinction, doesn't it, between being broke and building versus broke and burning.
Yeah, and you want to align yourself with the builders, create a supportive bubble while you get back on your feet.
Not about cutting people off forever, maybe just managing those interactions carefully for a while.
Exactly, protecting your progress.
Makes sense. Okay, so all this is about managing the now, but what about getting out of this situation?
Right, that's the final phase, building a way out. Moving from pure survival mode to actually planning ahead.
So this is where the actual budget comes in, like income minus expenses.
Yep, getting a clear picture, and crucially, starting an emergency fund, even if it's tiny.
It mentioned saving something like €1,000 a week. Seems small, but
But it adds up. It's about building the habit as much as the amount initially. Creates a safety net, however small.
and setting actual goals, like what are you working towards?
Mm-hmm. Moving out, starting a side business, saving for a specific trip. Having a why makes the saving easier.
It really emphasizes small, consistent actions, doesn't it?
Totally. It's not about finding a huge windfall overnight. It's about those little steps day after day, week after week.
I like the idea of setting just one tiny, achievable financial goal each week.
Yeah, it makes it feel less overwhelming. Like this week I will save X amount, or this week I will not buy coffee out. Small wins build momentum.
Okay, and the doc wraps up with some thoughts on identity.
Yeah, this felt really important. A reminder that being broke or financially stressed, it's a temporary situation. It doesn't define you.
That's crucial. It's easy to feel like a failure or something.
Definitely. But the doc pushes back hard against that shame. It has that line.
You are not your bank balance. You are not your ramen noodles.
You are not the 2 years in your wallet. Yeah.
It's it.
It's about separating your self-worth from your net worth, especially during tough times.
It frames it as a challenge, something you can navigate with resilience, with a plan, which feels hopeful.
Absolutely. It acknowledges the reality financial hardship happens, it's common, but offers practical ways and, importantly, a mindset to get through it.
So summing up this deep dive, if you're feeling the squeeze, you're really not alone.
Not at all. And the message from this source seems to be, face it, understand it, get resourceful, find support, and start building your way out step by step.
And remembering that you, the listener, you've got the capacity for that resourcefulness, that resilience, even when things feel tough.
Mm-hmm. Which leads to maybe a final thought for everyone listening, something to chew on this week.
Okay.
What's maybe one budget assassin, just one that you could track down and eliminate this week? Or what's one tiny, concrete step you could take towards a financial goal you have?
Ooh, good prompt. Makes it actionable right away.
Yeah. Or even just thinking, which of those broke meal ideas could actually work for me? Or what's one skill I have that maybe, just maybe, could be a side hustle?
Food for thought. Okay, thanks for diving deep with us today on navigating those tighter financial times.